This is enormous. Jimmy is off to the races. This might not even be close. This is a microscopic masterclass.
That's the most entertaining shit I've ever seen, bro. Holy. Like, the reason that I wanted to use that clip is because long time ago, long time ago, you literally existed in that form, in the form of a sperm cell. And you were up against hundreds of millions of other sperm cells trying to reach the egg. And you were literally that guy that outcompeted all of the other sperm cells. And that's why you are alive as you are right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made it. And that's really what Fortnite Competitive is all about. Like, you're up against millions of other contestants. You have to be that one sperm cell that makes it to the finish line. And I'm just your coach. I'm telling you, yeah, don't swim into the wall, because if you swim into the wall, you might get, blocked and you're not going to swim as fast. You have to use this technique to swim like this. I'm just your coach and I'm telling you how to win this race. And we're going to start with a very important lesson, and that's not to listen to any other sperm cells. Especially not ones that are behind you. Because other sperm cells that are behind you, they are confronted with the fact that you are, going so fast, you're winning this race. They're confronted with the fact that they are losing this race. And they don't want to see that. So they would rather pull you down and tell you, yeah, do this, do that. They will tell you to quit Fortnite Competitive all of the time. You know how many times people have been telling me when I was like 200 PR to just quit this game? Oh, you're too old for the game, you're this and that. Like, just quit, just stop, don't try to chase your dreams, don't do anything. They're trying to drag you down and get you out of this competition even, because they are failing the competition themselves. They're just jealous. If you start to listen to all of the haters, you probably don't have that many haters if you're not on social media or something. But your biggest haters in your life are probably your parents, not gonna lie. Parents hate their kids playing video games. They will say the exact same things. It's too difficult, the chances are stacked against you, you're probably not gonna win. They will literally tell you that you're probably not gonna win. I'm here to tell you, you are that sperm cell that literally made it to the finish line. You are born to win. Being in a competition like this is literally what you're born for. And people telling you that you have to give up on your dreams and telling you that you have to stop the race, it's just idiotic. I mean, what else do you live for? Like, if you're not going after your dream life, then I don't know what the purpose of life is. I don't think the purpose of life is just to survive and just, do whatever. No, you have to create the best possible life for yourself. Now, obviously, it's not going to be easy to win this competition, but it's not a matter of luck. It's mostly a matter of you just not giving up, just like all of those other sperm cells, and you have to swim fucking fast. You have to be one of the fastest swimmers out there. And if you have to translate that to Fortnite terms, then, you have to grind. You have to grind as hard as possible. Grind. You have to grind because that's how you improve. That's how you win this race. Now, you also don't always want to listen to people that are ahead of you, because a lot of the time, because they are winning this competition, they don't want to help you because, if they're going to help you win, they're going to lose, and they want to win themselves as well. So you have to be very careful who you listen to. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to people, the sperm cells that are behind you, and also not the ones that are in front. Not always. Take everything they say with a grain of salt. Think about it carefully, critically, and think, okay, this guy said that aim training doesn't even matter. That doesn't really make sense in my brain. If I train my aim, I'm gonna improve my aim. So why would he tell me not to play Kovacs? If someone tells you to play Kovacs and play harder and, train harder, then you think, okay, he says train harder. Okay, training harder is probably going to help me improve my skills even faster. So that's probably what I need to do. If those sperm cells behind you are saying, yeah, you have to stop working completely, drop out of the race, don't do this, don't work as hard, you have to achieve balance, don't be so extreme. They're telling you to slow down in the race. Doesn't make sense. They don't want you to win. Only listen to the people that are actually trying to help you win. And hopefully you trust me enough that I'm one of those people. Okay, so let me just get into the mindset of trying to help you win this competition and beat all of the other sperm cells. So what are some of the very important lessons that you need to know? First of all, in my personal experience, I think it is very important for you to have a specific form of motivation that you can just rely upon. Let's say you're grinding Fortnite Competitive and there's a period of slow growth. It's pretty difficult. There has to be something in your brain that just tells you, okay, it might be difficult right now, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep, putting in the work, putting in the effort, because you need to have a specific reason. It was a psychologist or philosopher even called Nietzsche, and he said something very important. He said, "He who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how." And what this basically means is if you have a strong enough reason to do something, that you can basically tolerate any sort of circumstances. So any form of pain, you can just go through it because you have a reason to keep going. If you don't really know why you're playing Fortnite competitive, then, why are you playing it? It's kind of, you need to know why you're playing this in the first place. Are you just doing it to make money? Are you doing it because you want to achieve something exceptional? Is it because you just want to beat the competition and because you're just a competitive guy in your nature? Is it because, you need to figure it out for yourself. Like, why are you grinding this game? And that is supposed to carry you in those hard times. So let's say you're playing this game because you think winning is fun. Then what happens when you lose? Let's say you lose multiple tournaments in a row. Then you're gonna quickly become demotivated because you're playing this game, but you're not winning. So, the deal is really broken. Like, you're not winning, so you might as well quit, right? Because your entire motivation was winning and you're not winning. So why are you even playing in the first place now? Now, you could, of course, argue the fact that you will win over time. As you lose, you learn lessons, and then eventually you start winning. That's perhaps one thing. So if you're motivated by winning, absolutely fine. But then you have to realize that the process of winning often comes down to a lot of failures. You have to lose multiple tournaments in a row so that you eventually become better and better and better. So that's one of the first lessons, knowing exactly why you play this game and what motivates you. I think a second very important lesson is the fact that you know that there's so many other players with all of their forms of motivation, and they are also trying to achieve the exact same result. And it's kind of a zero-sum game, like there can only be like a set amount of pro players. Like, there's not enough money in this game. If you want to be an actual pro player like Sky and Scroll, I'm pretty sure Scroll made like 200,000 playing this game in the past year, 2026. If you want to be on that level, there's only like a few people in the world that are on that level. And of course, as we've said, you have to become that person, you have to become that guy. You have to be that sperm cell that makes it to the end. But you must realize that you are in competition with all of these other people and you have to outcompete them. And this has certain implications. It means that you have to work hard. It means you have to stay disciplined. It means that, a lot of players, they will quit. They will, have all of these voices in their head telling them, you need to quit. It's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. All of these players, they will fall off, slowly die off, like all of the other sperm cells. They will not make it to the finish line. And if you're one of those people that just ignores and blocks out the noise, then you can keep going, you can keep grinding. So that's already one of the things. Another great way to guarantee failure is by simply not working hard enough. People don't really grind. Like, a lot of players, they don't grind the way you're supposed to grind. They're not even putting in enough hours. Like, pro players, they are pro players because they're spending all day grinding. It's like they have so much focus on this game. They spend all of their time and energy on improving themselves in one specific thing. It only makes sense that they're so fantastic at this skill. And that's why they're outcompeting you. So if you want to get on that level, another important lesson is that you have to put in the work. You have to grind. And this is something we've talked about like so much on this channel. But I cannot just turn your brain on instantly and all of a sudden you just work 12 hours a day. It doesn't really work like that. Mindset is learned over time. Just like mistakes are learned over time and through repetition. If I tell you 100 times that you have to believe in yourself and that you are an exceptional individual, eventually you're gonna end up being an exceptional individual and believing that because your brain is just accustomed to that belief, That is how we have learned basically everything. If you constantly hear like, the Chinese this, the Chinese that, you're gonna have some sort of opinion of the Chinese. That's not necessarily something you learn from your personal experiences, it is just instilled in your brain. Outside voices are constantly putting in beliefs in your brain. If your parents keep telling you, you're probably never gonna make it, it's so difficult, only like 1% of players, 0.1% of players, they will eventually make it as a pro, and your parents are basically saying they don't believe that you are one of those players, then you're gonna start to believe that. You're gonna have all of this self-doubt, like, can I actually do this? I don't know. We have to install some new beliefs in your brain. Like, I'm one of those exceptional individuals that actually makes it to the end. And one of the things that is required for that, and that is lesson number 4 or lesson number 5 in this video, is the fact that you need to be persistent. Persistence means that you basically just keep going. You keep going, no matter what. If you have the possibility of quitting 1 year from now, or 3 months from now, or 2 years from now, if there's a possibility in your brain that you're quitting, the universe is not going to reward you. Like, the universe actually rewards people that are hella committed to their goal. That are basically telling the universe, I'm not gonna quit until the goal has been accomplished. The universe works in a very funny way, and all of a sudden it blesses those people with exactly what they need to achieve the goal. So if you're not that sure, if you're full of doubt, if there's so much tension in your body, like yes, no, then it's not gonna work out as easily. And we don't have to make it some sort of magical phenomenon. Like if you're not that sure that you're going pro in this game, if you're full of self-doubt, then why would you ever grind as hard as you could? Because if you're not really sure that you'll make it, then might as well not try that hard, because then all of that effort goes to waste. So your body will literally tell you, like, it's gonna stop you from putting in your maximum effort and your maximum potential, because you just don't really believe that you will eventually make it. So the trade-off is not there. If you put in so much effort, it would be pretty useful if you actually got some rewards as well and actually made it to that finish line. A long time ago I started thinking, like, is there any goal on this planet? Is there any type of goal that is just impossible to reach? And I came with a conclusion. Basically every single thing that you can think of, any single goal, it can be achieved. Literally everything. You can literally fly. People 100 years ago or 200 years ago, they couldn't imagine that we would just fly in the sky. But now there are planes and we fly in the sky. People literally do all sorts of things in the sky, right? The exact same thing goes for calling someone. Speaking through a device where you can reach someone at the other side of the world, instantly. Like that would literally be considered witchcraft, and you would literally get hanged or burned at the stake for that. But I hold a firm belief that literally everything is possible if we have enough time. If you have enough time, you could literally be like world champion at basically any competition. If you had enough time, if you put in enough time. I think time is the limiting factor. I've read a biography of Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was basically a slave. Like, he was very poor. He grew up very poor, and he worked in like the factories for like 50 cents per day or something, like some like you cannot imagine how low this minimum wage is. Like, there was no minimum wage is what I mean. So they were getting paid like nothing. Him and his father, pretty sure. They both worked in the factories in America when he moved there at a very young age. And eventually Andrew Carnegie somehow pulled it off and literally became a billionaire. A billionaire business owner that literally built basically the entire infrastructure in terms of steel in America. Like, he owned like the biggest steel companies. And he was like some sort of billionaire, okay? Like, in that time, I'm pretty sure he owned like 40 billion or something. Some crazy amount. Probably translated to this day, but he was like insanely wealthy and he came from nothing. And I read this whole biography. I think it was like 500 pages or something. And all I was thinking is like, if you have enough time, you can literally do anything. Like, this guy literally went from being a slave in the factories to being one of the wealthiest people that has ever existed, by the way. If you are impatient and you think like, oh yeah, I have to become a Fortnite professional player within 6 months, within a year, within any type of time frame, this is not going to work out, because it's going to take time and you cannot control time. All you can control is the level of effort you're putting into the game, how much you're grinding. If you grind harder, it's going to take less time. You cannot control anything, basically. You know what you can control? You can't control the fact that you haven't bought Fortnite Academy. Like, there's a reason why some people, they say they want to go pro and they have the money for a program like Fortnite Academy, but they don't do it. And I personally believe it's because they don't believe in themselves. So if they spend like 20 bucks, let's say for 5 months, so 100 bucks total, they don't believe that they're ever going pro in the first place. So that's the same thing with putting in so much effort. If you don't actually believe you're gonna make it, then why would you ever put in so much time and effort and dedication into this goal? You're not gonna grind as hard if you're full of doubt in your body. And the same thing goes for investing your money. Why would you spend your money if you don't really think it's gonna pay off eventually? By the way, this is the exact same reason why I would recommend everyone to buy Kovacs and not play the free aim trainer Aim Labs. Just because it's just a little bit more effort. You have to put in, 10 bucks. You have to invest something in your goal. Like, literally, some pro players are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars this year. You're not one of them. You could be one of them. This is an investment in your future, buying Fortnite Academy. And I know this is turning into a sales pitch, but whatever. First link in the description, by the way. I think another very important topic is the fact that most people, they don't really have much energy or testosterone. One of the two. Like, if you don't have good testosterone levels, your competitiveness is literally going down. I don't know if you know this, by the way, but testosterone levels have been slowly declining in the past decades. Like a man 100 years ago, he would have like 5 times as much testosterone as the average man today, which is kind of a crazy thing. And testosterone is good for lots of things, but one of the main benefits for you probably is the fact that testosterone is the competitive hormone. It makes you more competitive. And you know what goes hand in hand with testosterone as well? Your energy levels. If you go to bed on time, if you sleep well, if you exercise every day, if you eat the clean foods, not any junk food or any bullshit, yeah, those are already very important things. Like, being healthy is not one of the most complicated things. All you have to do is eat well, sleep well, exercise well, and then you're pretty much healthy. Yeah, sure, you can talk about, you know, the benefits of sunlight and vitamins and all of these other things, but we're going to skip that for now. But if you just work on your health in general, if you work on these healthy habits, you're going to get more energy. And energy is what you need to grind. Grinding is just putting in time and energy. You got to understand. It's all about time and energy. Those are your primary resources in life. But as I was saying, if you work on your health, you're not only going to get more energy, but also more testosterone at the same time. Like, these two things go hand in hand, basically. Energy and testosterone, you gotta work on it. If you don't have good levels of energy or testosterone, you're not gonna feel motivated to beat the competition. You're gonna be one of those players that will literally just drop out of the competition because they are like, yeah, this is too difficult, I'm never gonna make it, because they're not competitive. They're not that one sperm cell that actually makes it to the fucking finish line, because they're not, it's just not in their fucking blood. It's not in their, they don't have the power, basically. Testosterone gives you that power, and then you're just gonna have to accept an existence that is much less than your dream life. You dream of being a pro in this game, I'm gonna help you do so. Fuck all of those people that tell you that you have to quit this race and that you have to drop out of the race. Fuck all of them. Fuck all of them. Block out the noise. And we don't have to be delusional. Like, if you are actually doing all of the wrong things, if you're not playing kovacs, if you're not playing scrims, if you're not playing tokens, if you're not VOD reviewing, if you didn't come up with a game plan, you are not a serious grinder and you're not gonna go pro in this game. It's not all about, oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna listen to Frag Mike and eventually I'll be a pro. No, you have to do the hard work yourself. So I'm never gonna guarantee that you make it in this game. It's all up to you. You can guarantee it. You can also guarantee your own failure. If you don't put in the work, you guarantee your own failure. If you listen to all of these haters, you guarantee your own failure. If you don't believe in yourself, you guarantee your own failure. There's so many little traps that I can, point out to you, but that you could fall for. Just like all of the other sperm cells. Like, so many sperm cells, they will go into areas, that is a bit, the pH scale is too damaging for their structure or whatever, and they die inside the woman's vagina, okay, whatever. But they will literally die because they're making all of the wrong choices, okay? They're making the wrong choices and guaranteeing their own death or failure. I feel like I've already given you too much advice in this video. I know your attention span is not that great, so I'm gonna keep it short. If you enjoy these videos and these crazy analogies, then you might as well subscribe to my channel. Like, subscribe, and comment WVODs. Now keep grinding, boys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!